Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Michaela. I'm so glad you guys clicked on today's video. I am so happy with how my channel has been going. It really means a lot that so many people have subscribed. Like, we're over 100. We're at 108 right now. So I just wanted to tell you guys, thank you guys so much. Love you guys. We all know a video can't be one of my videos if not a cat interrupted. She is very, very big now. I should go back and see how little she was when we first got her. If you haven't seen that video, it's linked here. She's adorable, guys. I just absolutely love her. Most of the time, she's still figuring out where the litter box is sometimes. Yeah, but at least all of the cats get along now. Anyways, we're not here for a life recap. We're here for a book recap, specifically what I read. So let me grab the books real fast. This a new TBR cart and I love it so much. Let's grab those books. Now I need to go to Goodreads because I have no idea what I read first. Let's see. I've been trying to use Fable as well, but I don't like that it has the reading streaks. Like, I don't need to know if I read it every day or what days that I read. That's not important to me. So Goodreads is still the first app I open. So I'm reading 3 books at the moment: Goldfinch, Magnolia Park's Into the Dark, and then Saving Noah on my Kindle. So let's just get into what I read this month. Okay, let's see. What's this month? 10? Okay, we started off with reading Daisy Hates The Great Undoing. Now listen, Daisy's books have not been my favorite, but I like to see what's happening on the other side of the books. That probably doesn't make sense, but these books alternate back and forth between Magnolia and Daisy, Magnolia, Daisy, and then now I'm on Magnolia this far into it. So this one was about Daisy. It's really rough what she has to go through, and honestly I read the one before that, this one, back in June, I want to say. So it's been a long time since I've been into this world, so I really don't remember everything that happened, but I still rated this 4 stars. I don't know what's in these books, no idea what's in it, but I eat them up every single time. Every single time. I don't know what it is because I thought I didn't like that. I'm here to confess. I eat it up so quick. And this book is 484. It felt like 200. One of my favorite things about the Daisy Hates books that Magnolia Parks doesn't have is the little things at the bottom. So there's numbers throughout, and then you correlate that number to what's down here. It's basically just a thought that she has. I thought that was interesting. Besides, instead of writing it right after the sentence, she just puts it at the bottom. I found it interesting. I enjoyed that. So yeah. And also, these books are so floppy, and I like all of the covers. I'm gonna say it. I do. 4 stars. Obviously, there's not going to be any spoilers, so no need to worry. I'm not going to spoil anything for you. If you want toxic relationships, drama, just rich people's lives, go for those. And in London, go for these ones. Anyways, okay. The next 3 books that I read were for my Reading Scary Books video. So if you haven't seen that one, it's right here. But guys, each one of these books was a wild ride. I think the first one was Dearest by Jackie Walters. I think that's her imaginary friend. I forget her name. Neffy? I could be wrong, but I believe that is the imaginary friend, Neffy. Anyways, this is about a single mom. She just had a baby. Her husband is deployed. And then I think it's her dad and his mom, or her dad and stepmom. It could be her dad and stepmom. But anyways, she has help for the first couple weeks, but then she's left alone 4 weeks until her husband gets home. And then also her mother stops by. So that is all a wild ride. The twist that twisted, the plot that plotted, the fear that I had as a mom, it scared me so much. This was a 4 star. It couldn't be any higher than that because I was worried about the baby. If I'm worried about the baby, it can't be a high rating. It just can't. I was worried the whole entire time. And then also at the end, that knocked it down a lot. It honestly should be a 3.5, but I loved basically the whole entire book except for the last few chapters where this, I don't want to say ritual, but it was like trying to summon someone that's dead. And as a Christian, I'm not about that. I don't accept that at all. So honestly, that's why it got knocked down. I did not like that at all. Pretty much just skimmed those chapters because I had to see that everything was okay at the end of that, because I was getting freaked out. Anyways, 3.5 or 4. Now, no one can know. I'm just thinking about the ending of this one, and I'm still like in shock that it was that person and it settled that way at the end. If you've read this, you know exactly what I mean. Like, how would that be acceptable? You know what I mean? Especially the police officer. I did not like that either. Basically, this one is about 3 sisters and their parents get murdered, and you're trying to figure out what happened. And then it goes through each of the sisters' perspectives, then and now. So it's pretty crazy. Anyways, so the oldest sister, she goes by JJ now, and then there's Emma, and then there's Daphne. So it goes through all of their perspectives, like I said. But Emma, she has to, I don't know, like find her memories, and then the other 2 sisters are like, okay, so what does she remember? The first sister doesn't live in town. Emma, the main character, pretty much, is having to move back into their parents' home because her husband lost his job. They have nowhere to live. They were going to sell their house, or they were going to buy a house out of their apartment. Their apartment lease is ending, so they have nowhere to live. So they go back to her parents' house where they were murdered. So they're fixing it up and all of that. So then she's getting flashbacks and all of that. It's a wild ride. I had guesses, but I didn't guess it 100% all the way. I just knew like one piece of the puzzle. I thought it was going to be more complicated, but I was on track. That's all for this one. I did give it a 4 stars because it kept me on the edge of my seat. I finished this in 1 day or 2 days. Each one of these, 1 or 2 days. That says a lot. So 4 stars for this one. And then I read Sleep Tight. Guys, this one was main character, what's her name? Tess Claiborne, okay? She's a detective, and her daughter is kidnapped. And then, okay, let me start over. So, the sole survivor of a serial killer might hold the key to stopping a new spree of murders in this propulsive horror thriller in the vein of The Black Phone and The Whisper Man. Don't know what those 2 books are. Anyways, Father Silence is the serial killer, and he is executed by electrocution. So, House of Horrors was his house. They uncovered people there that were his victims. There's 1 survivor. He's locked away in a hospital for the criminally insane. And then 2 decades, Father Silence is sitting in prison, and then he's put to death. So for 2 decades, he doesn't say a single word. So that's why the second part of his name is Silence. The first part of his name, Father, is because he dressed as a priest for his cult. Hence, Father Silence. Okay? New serial killer enters the story. He's taking credit for the murder and calling himself the Outcast. Very creepy. So, Tess Claiborne is a detective. She's haunted by her childhood trauma, horrified by the death of her father, and the resurgence of Father Silence's legacy. So, Tess's daughter is kidnapped by the Outcast, and then she has to face her worst fears and long-buried memories. So she suppressed her memories so that she does not know what happened when she was a kid and why they moved from Twisted Tree to where they were now. I'm just gonna say, I wish she could have unraveled her memories sooner. Anyways, so they go back to Twisted Tree to visit the boy who survived and see what secrets might be buried in his mind. Broken mind, I will say that. If you've seen The Crowded Room, that's Noah. All the personalities in the multi-personality disorder, Noah. Crazy connections. It's wild. 4 stars for this one. Or maybe I did 5? No, I definitely did 4. Yeah, definitely did 4. But again, 1 to 2 stars for each one of the Book of the Month books. These were all Book of the Month, and I saved them for that video. So the last one that I read was on my Kindle. I have this case on it now. Just wanted something a little bit more protective, and this always protects the screen. So anyways, I had the Libby app, and I finally got to read Funny Story by Emily Henry. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It is a 4 stars from me. I loved it. The way that they met, it's not ideal. Basically what the story, or how the story goes, What's her name? Why did I forget her name? Daphne. Okay. I was reading Funny Story and No One Can Know at the same time, so the Daphnes were mixing. Anyways, Daphne, fiance Peter, okay? These two are about to get married. Peter has a childhood best friend. Let's say girl best friend, okay? Girl best friend. They grew up together. Childhood sweetheart that she didn't want to admit. So, this girl is Petra. And then Petra has a boyfriend. He is Miles. Peter and Daphne, Petra and Miles. Peter leaves to go to Petra, and then they decide they want to get married. Okay, so now it's Peter and Petra. And then where else does Daphne have to go? Nowhere but Miles' apartment that now has an empty room for her to move into. So they become roommates, and they don't talk for like a month and a half. And then just a funny thing happens, and then they're at his work. It's a winery. I forget what it's called though. Anyways, this is in Waning Bay, Michigan. I don't think I've ever been here, but it sounds beautiful. So her and Miles strike up a deal that she will stay for the summer, and every Sunday he will take her to go explore Waning Bay, and then at the end of the summer she can decide if she wants to stay or leave. Basically the whole reason for this is she feels like her whole identity was Peter, and she moved here because Peter. Everything revolved around Peter. So she found a job. She loves this job, and she is amazing at this job. She loves it. And then she also finds one of her best friends there. That friendship, I loved that friendship. Anyways, she loves this job. She doesn't want to leave, so that's basically why Miles strikes up this deal with her to go out every Sunday and explore Waning Bay so that she can fall in love with it herself and call it her home, not just Peter's. That was really sweet. Oh, I wanted to give Miles a hug because his struggles and his thoughts. But I was wondering when the funny story part was gonna come in, and it does at the literal very end, so found it. And yeah, what did I rate this one? Actually, a 4-star, but it could very well have been a 4.5. That's my third Emily Henry book, and now I need to get it because I really want it on my shelf. But I'm going to wait until probably the 12th of November when I'm going out to get Nightshade. No. Sky. Why did I forget the third book's name? It is Skyshade. Is it not? Yes, it is Skyshade. Is in fact Skyshade. And I think I am going to get the green one because I think it would be really pretty. A red and yellow, a blue, and like silver. I guess this would be gold. Like gold and red, blue and silver, and then this is more like green and bronze. Maybe, and then there's some red in it as well. I'm so excited for that book. And then also Fearless coming out in April. This shelf is about to look so beautiful. But anyways, I'm gonna wait to get Happy Place. No, not Happy Place. Funny Story by Emily Henry. Maybe then, if I can find it. I don't know. It was a good month for high ratings, but I didn't read very much. I think I read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 books. You know what? I finished Beach Read October 5th. So I guess that's the first book that I finished. So that's after, oh, it's literally right here. I don't know why I forgot I had the physical copy. Yeah, I started this September 24th and then I finished this October 5th. It's definitely in my wrap up. Silly me. This looks like a lot, but I feel like it's not as much. I need to shelve all these, and then, oh my goodness, it's almost 9 o'clock, but technically it's 10 o'clock because daylight savings time was Saturday night going into Sunday, and today's Sunday. It's the first day where daylight savings time is here, so it's all been confusing today. Felicity did not nap when she normally does. She actually napped on the way over to my parents' house for the Packers versus Lions game, which we're not going to talk about. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Like and comment and subscribe. Comment which books that you read in October and let me know what your favorite one was and which book maybe you're going to read. And I will see you guys in the next video.